This Cooperative Builder honoree has dedicated more than 45 years of his life to the cooperative community, helping cooperatives build strong leaders, while simultaneously facilitating many successful mergers and consolidations. Cooperative Network is proud to honor Gary Tomter of CHS Inc. as a 2020 Cooperative Builder. Raised on a family farm in western Wisconsin, Gary was exposed to the value of cooperatives at a young age, as his father served on the local cooperative's board of directors. Just 2 weeks after graduating from the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire with a degree in business, Gary began his cooperative career, joining a small Wisconsin cooperative as a management trainee. He later served as the general manager at 2 co-ops, including 10 years at Tri-County Farmers Cooperative in Sauk City, all while raising 2 children, daughter Sarah and son Eric, with his wife Connie. In 1989, Gary applied the skills he gained as a manager and started a new chapter with CHS. During his 28-year tenure, he served as a strategic advisor and assisted cooperatives with everything from long-term planning to major initiatives, such as mergers or joint ventures that resulted in the cooperative community looking as it does today. He was also integral to the selection and hiring of many cooperative general managers and CEOs throughout the Midwest, of which many are still employed in the cooperative system. Like others of his era, Gary saw many changes within the Wisconsin and agricultural cooperative landscape. When he started his career in 1973, there were more than 250 farm supply co-ops in Wisconsin. Today, there are about 30. Gary was deeply involved in much of this change through being a trusted confidant to many agriculture cooperative leaders and boards throughout the state of Wisconsin and surrounding states. Gary was oftentimes one to quickly point out that people working with and in the cooperative system must never forget that they are ultimately working for the farmer or producer. He was quick to remind people to always think about what our co-ops need to do to serve the needs of farmers and ranchers well into the future. Relationships were always an important part of Gary's career. He constantly worked to build trust with cooperative leaders, board members, and fellow employees, and strongly believed in the power of constantly cultivating relationships. He used those relationships in his professional guidance, helping pave the future for many cooperatives. His contribution to agriculture was immense and will continue through the cooperative leaders he helped to develop. One of those leaders is Andy Feeney, CEO of Prairie Cooperative. Andy explained how Gary left a lasting impact, both personally and professionally. I started working with Gary in 1992 after being hired as the general manager of Patrons Mercantile Cooperative in Black Earth. In fact, Gary was retained by the cooperative for the management search and was part of the hiring process. I could see early on that Gary was a trusted advisor to the board of directors, even early in his career as a business services manager for CHS. Gary quickly turned into a mentor I could turn to early in my career for help with all sorts of issues. Gary became a regular speaker at a cooperative's annual meeting, always leaving the crowd in tears from the many Ole and Lena jokes he tells so well. After our company remade itself in the early 90s, Gary was instrumental in helping us through the first of many successful cooperative mergers in 2000. Gary has always had an immediate folksy connection with those he meets, and this was a very strong quality when presenting the case for a needed merger to members who were often reluctant to change. Chip Courtney, general manager at Medford Cooperative Inc., shared a similar account. Over the past 30 years, I've relied on Gary's experience and wisdom to assist me and the Medford Cooperative in a variety of ways. Gary has facilitated our strategic planning sessions and general manager performance evaluations, assisted in recruiting, advised on special projects, provided financial analysis and advice on potential acquisitions, performed employee training sessions, and much more. His varied background and past successful experience gave him the credibility to be very effective. Our staff and board always looked forward to working with Gary, and his positive professional approach was appreciated by all. Since his retirement in 2018, Gary has continued to give back in other ways, volunteering their time to the local community, whether local sports boosters, church groups, FFA, or helping to promote agriculture. Gary has also found time to enjoy other hobbies, such as traveling with Connie, gardening, and spending time with their 2 married children and 5 grandchildren. The influence Gary Tomter has had on so many cooperative leaders far surpasses his retirement. His wisdom and knowledge of the cooperative system will forever live on in those individuals and cooperatives he has worked with. And for those reasons and more, Cooperative Network is pleased to present him with a 2020 Cooperative Builder Award. Congratulations, Gary.